You know that racism is a man-made concept? It didn't exist until the early 1500s, and before that everyone was seen as equals. If you look down upon it, it's because of national pride or technological superiority, but not because of the color of your skin. There's also this idea that European colonists invaded Africa, guns blazing, swords swashbuckling, forcibly killing, pillaging, and capturing the African residents to use as slaves. This also isn't true. Like, the only reason racism was invented, and it was invented, is because the European colonists all felt bad about how the slaves were being treated. They needed a scapegoat, a reason not to empathize. And thus racism was created, superiority based on one's skin color. Now, I've been teaching this class for 8 years, people are always surprised when I tell them that. It kind of makes you think. If the colonists hadn't been so greedy, didn't tap into that slave trade, what would life be like today? Would a black American be able to walk the streets at night wearing a hoodie and not get frisked every block? They'd be able to enter a convenience store without being followed? Or would they have to change the way they talk to white people to show that they aren't a threat? Sadly, all we can do is wonder. Today there are still people who believe that racism is an innate human behavior. These people are all too ignorant or stubborn to realize otherwise. No matter what you tell them, no matter what you show them, they refuse to change their minds. I tell them this historical fact. You know what they say to me? They call me a liar. They call me a heretic. They call me a believer in leftist propaganda. What do you say to that? To those people? How do you better a world that refuses to change? These people love to hold on to the past. They believe that tradition is the best way of running the country. But if you look back in history, you'll find these people with radical ideas and radical beliefs that progress the world the most. And if you look back in history, you'll see it's people with conservative mindsets that prevent progress. This country is filled with these preventers of progress, which I like to call them closed-minded individuals. People will only think about themselves. What they think is what everyone should think. And what they believe is what everyone should believe. But when something contradicts what they believe, then they simply ignore it. Apparently, if you ignore something for long enough, it just goes away. Something needs to change. Because the way the world is right now, I see a grim future ahead of us. What do I know, right? Just a history teacher.